Mr. Choudhary, your 10 seconds are up. Dr. Rajdeep Roy. Dr. Rajdeep Roy, why after 6 years of the BJP in power is the first crackdown happening? These bulldozers should have been done long time back, because this is not the first and the only factory. There are many others which are illegal, which are encroached, which are occupied upon. And there are people who are living on Indian soil who are illegals in our country. And it all starts from Assam.
Look, at the very outset, I would like to tell you that Mr. Kamru Choudhary has an uninterrupted run. He has got the habit of sometimes interrupting. I would request him, please do not interrupt, let me speak. Number one. Number two is like, look, the Congress argument that we are demonizing the Muslims is absolutely not true. He, in his very first sentence, in his argument that he put forward today, he said that let law take its own course. But look, beside the point, what's happening in the National Herald case, they are not even letting the law take its own course. In one state, they are holding one position. In the other state, they are holding some other position. Coming back to Assam, the issue that has been raked up here is that like the Muslims are being demonized. Now, if the Muslims were demonized, if the Muslims were victimized, why would just answer a simple question? Why would the Assam government admit those 43 students, young students who were studying in these madrasas, take them to the government schools and give them admission to the surrounding schools? Because Assam government had a good humanitarian approach to those 43 madrasa students. The government made it an effort to get them admitted. This gentleman was arrested on 28th of July, which is almost about 7 days. Now, after 7 days, when the inquiry went on, they realized that he flouted the rules of DDMA, that is disaster management. And when he did not get the permission to construct that madrasa, which he was running illegally, the government took its action. Now, there are two issues in it. There is a legal action which will befall on him and his family because he has done illegal work. He has set up contacts with terrorists and terrorist operators from outside the border, and he was operating in Indian soil, trying to radicalize those young minds which are at a very vulnerable age. Number two, he has made illegal construction within the area where he should not have, or rather he should have taken permission for any such construction. Number two. Number three is that government of Assam, this time, it is not the 6 years you are talking of and all. In 6 years, we have not done. We have actually done, we have been doing it systematically. Anyone who's illegal, anyone who's done illegal activity, we have closed the border. In the first 5 years, we have made all relevant activities to close the border. You must admit that Assam and Bangladesh shares a huge border area, and not all the border areas are land border. Much of it is riverine border. To monitor those riverine border, it is very difficult.
But you can monitor
those
district-wise, taluka-wise, ward-wise. Dr. Roy, in Assam and especially in a state which
there are five districts. I understand.
District-wise, taluka-wise, border-wise, every 6 months you can get a population count and you can get a register made that what is the state population, who are the legals and illegals,
Assam
and where
government
are they coming
in the
from?
last 5 years has, Mr. Anand, just let me complete. In the last 5 years, Assam government has got high technology border management with laser, they have already employed in certain areas. Now, it was done on a pilot scheme basis. Now, if these are successful, obviously this will get implemented in the entire almost 2,000 kilometer of border that we have with Bangladesh. And this time, after Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma came to power, you have seen that there has been a major crackdown on the ecosystem. The drugs, where drug cartels and the drug dealers were arrested. Multiple things of drugs were apprehended by the Assam police, and they were burnt off and all. Number two, 800 madrasas by an act of the government, they has been suspended. Student has been taken into other government colleges, and these madrasas were converted into government college. We have not stopped the educational rights of the madrasa student. We have given them their educational rights. But what we have said is that we will not tolerate. Please, I have not interrupted anybody. I have not interrupted.
And if I remember the ruling, this applies.
Please extend me the courtesy that I extended you.
This is Anand here, Dr. Roy.
Please extend me the courtesy that I extended you.
No, Dr. Roy.
Otherwise,
Dr. Roy, this is Anand here. 1 minute.
About.
It's not Mr. Choudhary. What I am asking you is that this rule of the madrasas does not extend only to the madrasas. It also extends to the satras. So the Satras also have not got any state backing. There are also those who have been converted into government schools. So it is not saying that we are going to ban only madrasas. The other aspect, my Dr. Roy, I'm asking you, Dr. Rajdeep Roy, before I bring in Ankita Datta, my concern is, do you know how many Bangladeshis are staying in Assam today without valid papers? And who are these people who are getting them fake document? How are they getting how are they getting how are they getting fake Aadhaar cards? How are they getting fake PAN cards? Because the people who are providing them with these PAN cards, voter IDs, etc., are equally criminal and equally terrorists, because they are also acting against the sovereignty of our country.
Absolutely.
So we'd like their offices, their homes also bulldozed and them also carted out into prisons, sir.
Absolutely.
Let me come in once.
I am absolutely not defending what you are saying. I am absolutely not defending, but let me, in a very brief make a statement and all. We did this NRC exercise to identify the illegal and all. In the first place, we identified there are about 4 million people who did not have valid papers. They were given a second chance, of which 21 lakh people were passed away. So 19 lakh population almost left behind without valid papers. Obviously, that is next to investigation, which will take place in over a period of time. But what you are saying is that we have noticed why we, as a party, we objected to the NRC, because we were sure that the ecosystem that was dealing with getting those papers of NRC were appointed by the Congress government of that time, and they did a lot of illegal activities
NRC
which has
was
come
a
to light in
Supreme Court
various districts
monitored
across
probe,
Assam.
sir.
And that
Rajdeep,
is
you
the
are an
reason why,
MP.
as a party,
You
we
just
took a
cannot
stand.
spread lies on national television, sir. NRC was a Supreme Court monitored
NRC was an exercise to which we had objected as a party. What I am saying is my official stand of the party.
As a party,
It is not a lie. This is an official stand of the party.
The issue is not who monitored and who didn't. The simple question is, who is issuing these papers in such a way that those who are actually not Indian citizens have Indian documents. I'm running out of time, but Ankita Datta has not spoken.
There is an ecosystem which has been done.
Yes. So now please name, put them out, hang them out to dry, treat them as terrorists, slap them with UAPA and give them the harshest punishment, treat them as members of the Al-Qaeda and Ansarul Bangla.
Absolutely.
That's how these people have to be treated, not as Indian citizens, but those who are actually working with illegals against the interest of the country. RVS Mani Saab, I'm coming to you in just a bit. Dr. Ankita Datta, yes, quick word please.